Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Going the Distance. This is episode 9. Can you believe it? 9 episodes in and going strong. So I want to thank everybody for tuning in today. I want to welcome the new members who are watching for the first time, and I want to welcome back viewers that have been watching me from the beginning. So I hope everybody had a good weekend, and let's get into it. We got some stuff to talk about. I've got some music news, some sports news, some football news. I've kind of got a piece of sad news, and I've got some pretty interesting stuff. So let's jump into it. So as everybody knows, the NFL Combine's going on, and I've never really watched the Combine that much, just here and there of what I've seen on YouTube and all that. But what I saw, I believe it was I want to say Thursday last week. I think it was Thursday. Is that Tom Brady ran the 40-yard dash again, and he actually did better now than he did at his combine. He ran better at 46 than he did at 22, and I've got the numbers here to prove it. So at age 22, he ran the combine in a 5.28. And that's good, but it's, considering he's the greatest of all time, that could have been. But at age 46, he ran the combine at a 5.12 and a 5.18 seconds. That's great. That's better than what he did before. So we miss you, Tom, and we wish you were still playing, buddy. We really wish you were still playing. But I'm happy to. I'm excited to see what you have in store and with Fox next season. And can't wait to hear you commentate the games. I just wish it was you and Greg Olson together. I wish they hadn't pulled Greg from the booth. I wish it was Tom and Greg. So moving on, today it was breaking news that Mike Evans signed a 2-year deal with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now I'm really not surprised about this because he's been with Tampa his whole career. I believe he wants to end his career with Tampa. And he's been playing for some time. And him going to a new team would just be unimaginable. Granted, he hadn't really done much the past several years, and he's a little butterfingery, but at least he's not going anywhere. Everybody was like, "Where's Mike Evans gonna go? Where's Mike gonna go? He's a free agent. Where's he gonna go?" Well, he re-signed with Tampa Bay, y'all. So let's see what he does, and let's see if Baker stays in Tampa Bay. And I've got news on Baker coming up. So coming up next, we have news with Saquon Barkley. He plays for the New York Giants. He's one of their big playmakers. It was like Saquon and Odell together. Well, Odell moved on to another team, several other teams, and Saquon's still there. Well, now Saquon is a free agent. And, yeah, the Giants haven't been prominent and at the forefront in some time. That's been Philadelphia and Dallas. Well, now Saquon is looking at the Houston Texans as his next team. Now, that surprises me because I would think that the New York Giants would push for him to stay with them. Why he would move on is beyond me. But I'll keep you guys updated. That news broke actually on Thursday that he was looking at Houston to go to. And everybody's surprised. Why does he not want to stay in New York? Is there something going on? Does he not like the coach? What's going on? Y'all, if y'all have any thoughts on it, let me know in the comments. So here's an interesting piece of news. So as everybody knows, the 49ers, I said in a video, I believe it was last week or the week before, the 49ers fired Steve Wilks as their defensive coordinator. So they've been looking at a coordinator where they found one. Can't remember his name. Can't remember if I say it. I believe I did last week. But it came out this week, actually on Saturday, that the 49ers were trying to get Steve Spagnuolo from the Kansas City Chiefs to be their defensive coordinator with the 49ers. Now that would have been good, but I feel like they didn't want that to happen because the Chiefs didn't want that to happen because they're the dynasty right now. I don't see them as a dynasty, but we'll get to that in a minute because I've got something I need to say about dynasties and all that. So, and it's not really saying about it, but I've got a little something. So Spags actually signed a deal with the Chiefs after this news broke. Not after, but it was before. But now it's coming out with everything that he signed an extension. The 49ers wanted him, but he didn't want to go. Who knows? I kind of think, when I think Spagnuolo, I think of him in New York with the Giants because he's the Giants. That's what he is. Him and Tom Coughlin. That'd be like Tom Coughlin going. Granted, he's working with the front office of with Jacksonville now, but that'd be like him leaving the Giants and coaching another team somewhere else. Same with Bill Belichick. Even though I know Bill's going to be going with another team, it just won't look right. So, what do y'all think about that? Should Spagnuolo have made the jump from the Chiefs to the Niners? Or was it right for him to stay with the Chiefs? I kind of see it both ways. He could have done good for the Niners, but he's doing really good with the Chiefs now. So, we'll see. So, Justin Fields, who is the Chicago Bears quarterback and has been pretty decent the past few years. I mean, he's made Chicago better in that front. Granted, they, don't make it to the playoffs, but at least they've been better than, Rex Grossman and Jay Cutler did for him. So, I mean, I see a lot of promise with Justin Fields, but I guess Chicago's given up on him because now Justin Fields is on the trade block. And there's 4 teams interested in him. And one of the teams, I'm not sure of all 4 of the teams, but one of the teams I saw for sure is the Raiders. Now, the Raiders need a quarterback. They should have kept Garoppolo, and they didn't. I don't know why, but they didn't. And I think it's that whole Patriots mentality because Garoppolo came when Josh McDaniels was there. Josh brought Garoppolo with him. Well, snagged him from the 49ers, but it's like Patriots together. And that just wouldn't, they just didn't want that. So then they went with Russell Wilson, which I have some news with Russell and have some thoughts on that. No, the Raiders. They went with, God, who was it? Anyway, I can't remember who the Raiders quarterback was, but now they're looking at Justin Fields. So Justin and the Raiders and a few other teams are looking at Justin. Where should Justin Fields go? Should he stay in Chicago? I feel like he should stay. Him going to another team right now just isn't right. And he's give him some more time before you give up on him. That's what I think. So, as I said earlier, I had some Baker Mayfield news. Well, I saw now that Mike Evans is rehired, they're going to start. The Buccaneers are starting to relook at re-signing Baker. But over the weekend, I saw that the New England Patriots were looking at Baker too. Now that could be an interesting pairing if he goes to the Patriots. I think it might be a good thing. But he's got success in Tampa Bay. So I'm kind of torn. What do y'all think? Should he stay in Tampa? Should he go with the Patriots, or should he go to another team? I think I'm back and forth. He'd be good with the Patriots, but he's doing good in Tampa. So if it ain't broke, don't fix it. That's what I think. So I guess my decision would be him staying in Tampa Bay and having the success there. Just give him some more weapons to throw to, and you're as good as gold there, Baker. So now I have some sad news to report. So yesterday, if you're a fan of ESPN and watch ESPN, watch SportsCenter, you know Chris Mortensen. Well, it was reported yesterday that Chris Mortensen passed away at the age of 72. He had been battling throat cancer and had battled throat cancer, and I had been in remission. But I guess, like Toby Keith, the cancer must have come back, or he was just so sick that he couldn't recover. So my thoughts and prayers are with your family and friends, Chris, and with your whole ESPN family. You will be missed, and I remember watching you on ESPN during football season, giving the reports on with Adam Schefter, and it's just going to be sad. It's going to be different without you, Chris. Okay, so as everybody knows, that was all for sports, y'all. Now I've got some pretty good stuff to talk about. So, as everybody knows, this was a leap year this year. By the way, happy March, everybody. So on Thursday, the 29th, I read where a woman turning 100 years old, who had her birthday on a leap year, celebrated her 25th birthday because it was a leap year. So the headline read, "Woman turning 100 celebrates her 25th birthday on leap year." I think that's pretty cool. I really think that's cool. And if you guys were born on a leap year, let me know, how it works. I just think it's pretty cool. And I wanted to just pass that along. So now we're going to move into some music news. So I meant to bring this up last week and I forgot. But as everybody knows, one of my favorite bands is Nickelback. And they've had 10 albums, and all of them have been good. Well, I want to say 21, maybe 22 years ago, Nickelback released the album The Long Road. And one of my favorite songs from them is on there called Figure You Out. One of my favorites. Well, last week, on February the 28th, Nickelback celebrated 20 years of Figure You Out. I cannot believe that song is 20 years old. I can't believe I've been listening to that song for 20 plus years. It's just, it makes me shake my head because it just shows how time is moving on and how time flies. Because I would have never thought Figure You Out was 20 years old. Would have never even imagined going 20 years from Figure You Out and sing it 20 years later just as loud and as prominent as I can. And know every word to it. So, congratulations, y'all. Well deserved, and let's make it another 20, y'all. So, as I talked about last week, we talked about Linkin Park releasing their greatest hits album. And I said I didn't quite know when that album came out, but I would let you guys know. Well, I will see that the album comes out on April the 12th with their new song Friendly Fire. And I know everybody that already has all the Linkin Park albums like me still want that greatest hits because it's got new material from Chester on it. Now, granted, it's unreleased stuff, but it's still going to be good to have. It's going to be a collector's item. So that comes out April 12th, and I can't wait to get my hands on it. So, as I also talked about, P.O.D. is releasing a new album, and again, I said that I would tell you guys when that came out, and that album is called Venturis, I believe is how you pronounce it. And I've heard a few songs off of it, and it's going to be really good. It's going to be traditional P.O.D. They've got a duet on there with Randy Blythe from the heavy metal band Lamb of God. And it's heavy. Their song with him is heavy. And it's going to be good. It's going to be traditional P.O.D. Again, I can't wait to get my hands on this album, and it comes out May the 3rd. So keep a lookout for Linkin Park and P.O.D. And speaking of P.O.D., I was looking through while I was trying to find their release date. I started looking through their Wikipedia. And as everybody knows, P.O.D., if you're a fan of them, stands for Payable on Death. And I'm like, okay, that's, an interesting. Now, they're a Christian band. So I knew it had a Christian meaning to it, but I never knew what the meaning behind it was. So, as it says here, the band named Payable on Death devises itself from the banking term payable on death. The band chose the name to be a direct tie to the Christian theology that explains that since Jesus died on the cross, Christians' debts to God have been paid. That is perfect. That is absolutely perfect, and it is so true. In other words, all believers, in their acceptance that Jesus was sacrificed for them on God's behalf, have inherited eternal life. And we've inherited eternal life because when we die, we become eternal and we spend eternity in heaven. So I just thought that was great, and that was a good way to clarify it, and it made me like the band even more. And it really made me look forward to this new album. So I can't wait to get my hands on it. It comes out May 3rd, and everybody go get P.O.D. Everybody go get Linkin Park, and let me know in the comments what you guys think of those bands, Linkin Park and P.O.D. So, as to what we're listening to this week, it's going to be P.O.D. Check out some of the new songs. Let me know what you think. And, let me know if you're excited for the new record. I am. So, as I said earlier, when I was talking about dynasties, I had something to share with you guys about it. Well, we all love dynasties. We love the Dallas dynasty. We love the 49ers dynasty. We love the Patriots dynasty. And speaking of the Patriots dynasty, I was at a store over the weekend, or last week sometime, and I found a book called The Dynasty, about the Patriots dynasty. So I'm going to start reading this, and as I go through the book, I am going to talk to you guys about everything that's going on. So as I was reading the back of the book, I had already learned something that I didn't know, and I thought I knew a lot about the Patriots. I didn't realize the Patriots almost ended up in St. Louis, and I'm going to when I read the book, I'm going to read the story and let you guys know just everything that went down with that. Robert Kraft buying the team, Bill Belichick being hired, Tom Brady being drafted, and just all that. So as I go through the book, I'll give you guys my my review on the book, my synopsis of the book as I read. I can't wait. I saw it years ago. Actually, not years, a few years ago in hardback, and I passed on it. Well, now I've got it, and I'm going to read it, and we'll go from there. So, as a motivation this week, I just want to say that don't change yourself for anybody, because you are who you are for a reason. And people love you just the way you are. So keep being who you are, keep pushing on, keep being the great person you know you are, and you're loved. And just know that, bigger and brighter things are on the horizon. You may not know it now, but bigger things are coming. God works in mysterious ways, and I know firsthand from that. So I want to thank you guys. I know this is kind of short in between videos, and I know this is one of my shorter videos that I've done this week or this season. But before I go, one more thing I forgot to add in sports news. Kyle Larson won in Vegas this week. He won stage 1. I haven't finished watching the race. I haven't really gotten the synopsis, but I saw that he won stage 1. And so now he's in the chase. So now we need Chase to win a race. And I believe Chase finished in the top 15 this week. So, let's get up there, Chase. Now, Kyle Larson is my second favorite driver. Chase is my first. So Chase needs to get in the chase, and now that Kyle's in. So congratulations to you, Kyle. And, let's make it a good season. So I want to thank you guys for watching this week. Again, I know it's been short. I know it's been a few days in between, but I didn't want to go, a long time. I know 3 days isn't that long, but I didn't want to go until Friday without filming. So I hope you guys have a good week. I hope everything happens for you. I hope all your prayers get answered, and I hope your dreams come true. So just know that you're enough, you matter, and you're loved. I will be back next week with brand new material, some more music news, sports news, and some reality stuff. And I will do 2 weeks of Survivor because I didn't get into it this week, but we'll get into that next week. All right. Have a good week, y'all.